Welcome to MrClap.com's review of the French Revolution, brought to you by Noble Review, concise review books. Let's start with the major causes of the French Revolution. We'll use the mnemonic device MEAT, or team if you're a vegetarian. The monarchy of King Louis XVI and Queen Marie Antoinette was inefficient and did not meet the needs of the people. Enlightenment ideas such as liberty and equality from philosophers such as Voltaire, Locke, and Rousseau gained great popularity among the French people. The American Revolution was just successful in the United States, and it inspired the French to also seek liberty. In addition, the king spent a lot of money aiding the Americans, which increased the debt of France. Finally, T for taxes or the Third Estate. The Third Estate was a class made up of about 98% of the people. Although they didn't have much wealth, they paid more than their fair share in taxes, yet they had little say in government. France operated under a political system known as the old regime of three estates. The first estate was the clergy, who owned a lot of land. Second were the nobles, who were also rich. The third estate was made up of a combination of peasants and well-educated artisans known as the bourgeoisie. In any estate's general votes, the first two estates would always outvote the third by a margin of 2-1. This was unfair to 98% of the population, so the Third Estate decided to separate itself and became the National Assembly, who would pass laws for the French people. They took a tennis court oath pledging to make a new constitution. Things finally got bloody when on July 14, 1789, the Bastille, an old prison and symbol of the old regime and monarchy, was stormed by a mob. In the aftermath, peasants armed themselves and paraded through the streets. Many looted homes of the nobles. Hysteria, known as the Great Fear, accompanied the violence, as rumors of imprisoning and killing peasants ran wild. Still, many, including the sans-culottes, called for a complete change in France. Women took to the streets, protesting the inflation of bread prices. They broke into the Palace of Versailles, demanding that the king and queen rule from Paris. Louis and Marie later attempted to escape to Austria, but they were caught. The National Assembly became the Legislative Assembly and later the National Convention. France simultaneously fought a war with Austria as this was all going on, but Austria could not defeat France or restore Louis to the throne. Instead, Louis and Marie Antoinette were executed via the guillotine, an apparatus used to chop off heads. The revolutionary document to know about is the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen. It stated that all men were equal and there were demands for liberté, equalité, and fraternité. Things got really radical when the revolutionary political club called the JACOBINS took over. Their most famous leaders were Jean-Paul Marat, Georges Danton, and Maximilien Robespierre. Marat was murdered, and Robespierre had Danton sent to the guillotine. Now with power, Maximilien Robespierre went on a reign of terror. His Committee of Public Safety looked to sniff out enemies of the French Republic. Thousands were executed with little evidence. The French people could only take so much, and Robespierre met the fate of the guillotine as well. A moderate directory then took over, and they appointed Napoleon Bonaparte to lead France's army. The king was gone, but a new dictator was rising. For more review, you can find free flashcards and review sheets at MrClap.com. We also invite you to check out Noble Review in paperback and ebook format. Best of luck on your tests.